right into composition API with Vuelidate. I'm trying to validate two forms. There are those scenarios where people or customers actually ask you to register a person as an individual and then register a person as a company. So you want to be switching through those two things, you get. So what I'm going to display right now is an example of what I had done recently when I had joined them and they were not working as I wanted, so we shall dive right in. And as you can see we are here, right? So far this is what I had done, but when you try to validate, it doesn't really work as expected. If I click like this, it doesn't really bring out those errors that we are missing, you get. So I'll go ahead, since I have this form already set, I'll go ahead and clean this code for now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the main function. Yeah, this is where all the forms are in the main, you get, as you can see right here. So this is a squid. I'm going to look at the two forms because I'm working on the two forms, and as you can see, there is this function that updates on change. This is an event that happens when you select an option in a select element. So on change or at change is an event that actually happens. So when you change or you select an option, it actually picks an option from these two options, you get. So these are the two forms I'm dealing with. As you can see, if selected is equal to company, then display this kind of form. If selected type is equal to individual, then display this kind of form. Yes. So I am going to kind of make components for this form because this is how best everything will actually work, you get. So I'm going to go to components and I will open company form, right, dot view, right, and I'll set a template, and I'll then copy whatever form data I have in that was a company form. So I'll copy whatever content that is in the form of a company, then come here and display it here, right? And as you can see, it has started complaining. Yeah. So with Vuelidate, first of all, you make sure all the reactive values are displayed as 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 like you see here, they are reactive, right? So I'll pick reactive component, this, and paste here as well down. So it's supposed to be in the script, right? And I'll remove this, I remove this, right? So I'll paste this down here, yeah, and I'll return it down, get like this, right? And I'll import, since I'm using reactive, I'm supposed to import it from view, right? So I'll do the same thing for the rules as well. So if I'm doing the rules, I'm supposed to say const rules, and it's supposed to be computed because they keep changing all the time, you get. So I have to track all the changes in real time, you get. That's why I make sure I put computed, because I make sure I track whatever happens every time. If a value is removed, if a value is entered, then I'm not supposed to display that error. If then an error, if a value is okay, if a v model is now empty, you get, something like that. So I'll go back and copy this as well. This is all coming from Vuelidate, you get. If you want to understand most of this, you can go to the documentation, right? So it is actually saying the first name, the last name, email, password, and confirm password. Yeah, and it is actually saying same as individual password, right? This is actually company dot password. Since we are actually dealing with company here, we are not actually dealing with individual. So we are saying they actually have the different values. So I'm supposed to put company values here, registration number, company mail, right? Company password, yeah, and a company confirm password, yeah. So something like this. So it is actually still complaining because I've not imported the Vuelidate, because it is from the Vuelidate where we get all these values, right? So I then import required, yeah. I then import email since I'm using it. I then import same as, yeah, since I'm using it, and yeah, this is actually it. So it is now complaining because I am not returning this. It is supposed to be returning, since in the computer we are just returning what happens, you get. So it is actually complaining about the same as is used here. What else are we missing? Let me go back to the app and see. And from here, as you can see here, we are not importing this Vuelidate, right? But this comes at a later stage, so we don't really need it now. So I will then make this a return. How do I do that? I add another bracket, yeah, and this is how it actually works, right? So I'll then come here and say const, there's a v dollar sign that says use Vuelidate, yeah, it will import itself there, and it actually takes configurations. So what are the configurations? The configurations are the rules that I have mentioned there, and the company as a model that I'm trying to deal with. So I'll return this as well, yeah, return this as well. And as you can see, if I put something like that, of course I'm not going to get errors again in my code, right? Why? Because I'm using it here. And if you can read the documentation of Vuelidate, let me open something so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is Vuelidate for Vue 3. Yeah, I'm actually working with people that are using the composition API. Yep. So those that are using the composition API, yep, this is the composition API like you've been seeing. I have used required in the email from the Vue validators and the Vuelidate from the Vuelidate core, and this is my state. Yeah, that is the company which was equal to the reactive first name, la da 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 da, like you have seen. And I've gone ahead and did the rules as well as I want, because these are the areas I want to, validate. If something is being missed, then I have to return an error that is required, that like you have to fill this thing. Yep. So I have this const, the v dollar sign is use Vuelidate, use Vuelidate with the rules and the state, and I return this. Yeah. So in the code, like as you can see here, these errors are in form of the v dollar sign has a v model error that is in terms of an array. These errors come in array format, so I have to iterate and show each error message that comes back, as you can see from here. Yeah, so I'll go back and this is everything I have done, so it is not new. And as you can see, v dollar sign company name dot errors. So whatever, if we have messed around with a v model in the company name, and then the field we either missed, let's say we didn't meet the minimum length of the company name, and we are saying maybe the company name is supposed to be the mean length. Mean length supposed to be, let me first import mean length so that you can see what I'm trying to do. Mean length, right? So I'm supposed to say mean length, it is supposed to be, let's say 9. Mean length is supposed to be, let's say 3, okay, right? Mean length is 3, right? Mean length is 3, right? Right? Yeah, mean length is 3. Let's say mean length is 3. Yeah, let's see how they use mean length. Yeah, built-in validators. So we shall go to the mean length. Yeah, you see, so they are actually saying mean length to mean length this dot full. So mean length value is equal to mean length. So that actually means I can put maximum length, and I put 10 value or something like this as well. So they are saying you can actually pass their number, right? Or yeah, you can actually pass their number. So I'll go back here, and this actually can work as well, though in my example I have seen something like this. Yeah, mean length, which is 3, right? Something like that. So if anyone tries to put in a name that is below 3, it won't be accepted. So that means I have not met the needs of the v model in the company name, so we'll turn that as a list in the list of errors, you get, and you will see this message being displayed as maybe minimum length not met. Yeah, I'll show this in another example, because right now we're actually dealing with validating 2 forms. Yeah, so this is done, and I've made a mistake here. It's supposed to be $. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'll do this same thing for a component that says the individual form view, right? And I'll copy all the content that I had written for the individual, right? So now I'm supposed to delete this, yeah, and I'm supposed to copy the form here, right? Form here. Then I'll go ahead and put it in the individual form template, display this, right? And I'll say script, and I'll say export default function, right? Something like that. Oh, supposed to be more. Export default, and a support setup, something like that. And I'll return something like that as well. So what we have done in the previous one is what we're supposed to do in this one as well, right? So what happens is I'll do the same thing. I'll get the rules, get everything, so I'll not waste the time, because I don't want this video to be very long, you get. So I don't really know the individual values, so I'm going to go ahead and copy what I did with the individual, right, plus the individual rules. Yeah, so I'll delete this, and I'll delete this as well, and I'll delete this as well. Yeah, so I'm remaining with only those functions, right? So I'll go here and copy and paste down here, right? So I'll save, and as you can see, it is a bit organized right now. So I'll say these are rules still, since we are using it in a different form. Yep. And I'll say this is an individual, and this is an individual. So I've explained, the rules have to be met, you get. So it is going to complain about the thing being reactive, and I've not imported the reactive, so I'll import the reactive. Yep. And I will import something again I have missed in the other component, the computed. You have to import this as well. Yeah, computed. Yep, computed, right? Yep, something like that. So I will import, what else? I'm going to use Vuelidate as well. So import use Vuelidate from Vuelidate core, right? It's supposed to be Vuelidate/core, right? Core. Is that the right spelling? Yep. I'll import again. I will import the validators as well. Yep. So I'll import required. Yeah, or something like that. I think this is supposed to be as well this at with a core bit. It is actually showing this color because we have not used it in a code. So let's now use it. Const $v, being able to use Vuelidate with the rules plus the individual as the step, right? So we shall pass down here and we put that $, sign. We as well want the individual, right? What else do we want? So I think we are done here. If yeah, we're actually done because the V model is something different. So what I didn't actually show you guys is that when we are submitting this form, we are trying to prevent, and it brings submit form 2. So that means I'm actually having this method here down, right? But as you can see, I don't really have it now. It is going to complain about it. So I had written something down for it, and go ahead and copy it. And as you can see, it is this. Cut and paste in the individual form, right? Paste here, right? And it is a bit organized. Yeah, I'll copy this because it's supposed to be in the return. Oh, sorry about that. Supposed to write submit form 2, right, as a method so that it is exported. Yep. So I'm going to explain this. This submit form, it checks whether there are no errors in this thing, and this actually returns a true or false. You get, it checks value dot validate whether it has no error in it. You get, if it has no error in it, then we shall continue with submitting the values. And as you can see, I'm just console logging everything. If the result is true, then we shall see all the values. We get, if that is false, then we cannot proceed. You get, so I'll go ahead and remove this as well. And I think I'm missing the same thing in the company form, so I'll go ahead and copy the submit form as well, right? Copy this, or cut. I think cut makes more sense, right? And I'll paste it here as well, right? So it is just a submit form. They're just different methods because they are in different components. Yep. So the same logic applies here, and as you can see, we are done. So I'll go ahead and show you that we are preventing this from happening. The default way of form submission, we are preventing that from happening so that we can call this kind of method. You get, and I think I've explained here completely. This is something to do with the V model we are using. Yeah, and I think, yeah. So we are going to then replace everything with a component. You get. So how am I importing the components? I'm saying import import company form, like that, and import individual form, like that. You get, why I didn't use a setup, because it is already in the setup. If we are using a setup in the other way, I would have done setup, then components, then declared them. But here they are actually declared already because they're inside a setup. You get, so this is a component form. So if an individual is selected, I will choose the individual. Yeah, individual form, something like that. Then if a company form is selected, I will then choose a company form, something like that. You get, so we shall go ahead and test everything. So did I explain about that update event? Yes, I actually said what really happens is at change an event occurs. So this is how the select element works. You always listen to what changes in the options by putting a change. You get, if a change in the option value, then we call this method plus the event, because it is more like an event. So the way we pick a value from that event is event.target.value. That's when we pick an option that was selected. Yeah, that's how we can even track that it's maybe an individual that was selected. And V, if the selected type is individual, of course it's supposed to be individual, and if the selected type is the company, it is supposed to be company. Yeah, something like that. So we shall go ahead and test that. As you can see, we are having a black actually means we have a message in the console. Maybe something's really wrong, so I'm supposed to see what the problem is. They're actually saying the email is not defined. This is supposed to be coming from the individual form, you get. So if it is coming from the individual form, I didn't import that from the validators, you get. It is coming from the validators. So if I say comma email, because I'm actually forcing the user to put in their real email. Yeah, so that is the validator there. So we shall go back again and refresh, and it is actually saying same as is not defined. It is the same case here as well, same as. I think I didn't import all of them. Yeah, so if I refresh again, I think it will be okay now, right? Let's see. Yep. So as we can see, it is actually showing all these things. And if you select company, oh, I don't know why it is bringing this, but it is supposed to show the form. Let's see why I'm having such an error. And let's see why I'm getting such an error. Let's see. Saved this. Let's see why I'm getting such an error. I don't really know, but it looks like it is related to the UI, right? Let me see in the app whether I called the company form. Yeah, it actually looks fine from my looks. If the selected type is company, then it's supposed to show company, right? So let's see again. Oh, it is not showing other fields. So let's see from our component. We see if we have any other errors inside. What is it saying now? What is it saying? Is it saying it is hidden? Oh, it is hidden on the large. Oh, is it hidden? Is it hidden? Oh God, is it hidden? Oh God. Well, I don't really see any form here. If we select company, let's see whether the problem is related to how we are importing this kind of thing here. Let me just refresh again. I don't really know why it is actually showing this, but let's find out from the console. Oh, the computed is not defined. Oh, this is great. This is really great. So that actually means in the company form we did not import the computed. Yep. So we shall go ahead and import that from view, and we shall say computed. Yep. So we are done importing that, and I think we are done with that error as well. It is now supposed to show everything clear, right? Yeah, so we shall select company now. Ta-da! It is actually working fine. So now we are testing the validators. So if we say this, you can see it is now actually working pretty fine. And if you go to the company, to the individual, you will not see any issues because we are not using the company form, right? And if you try to submit, of course, you are going to get such kinds of error. And if you try to put in an email that is not valid, of course, you'll get that. This is the good thing about Vuelidate. Yep. And if you try to put in a password that doesn't actually match to the other, of course, it would say its passwords don't really match. You get. So that's the tutorial there. Kindly subscribe if that's the tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe. So if you put in the real data here, let's say hello is my name, and Joan is the last name. Password is 1239. Again, 12392345 6, something like that. So I'll say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, yeah, something like that as well. And as you can see clear here, if it is successful and the validation is having no something like is having nothing like errors in their thing, then you will see the values for submission. So this is the tutorial there with Vuelidate. This is how you actually validate Vuelidate. Shout out to guys from hyperdev, hyperui.dev. Yeah, I'm actually thanking these guys because all guys that are using Vue.js have been experiencing things of having issues, constructing components from scratch. But now we have people to actually look at. If you are very familiar with Tailwind CSS, that is the video right there. So shout out to these guys. Thank you for making our work very easy. I love you guys. Subscribe.